Hey guys. Anyway, I got some more dirt on releasing Chris. So at this point in my life, he's still alive, but he's a zombie. I released his spirit from the foundation, two foundations. Go back in my playlist, watch all the videos on releasing Chris if you want to know how to do this. And it's important. I've said it before. If you're a Christian, there's fine lines you got to deal with. You got to weigh that, or it's all going to come back at you, man. You don't want that. So before you go do this, make sure you're good with it, with Christ. Anyway, back to the fun. So I'm going to share the screen with you, and why sharing the screen? Yeah. Hold on. Give me a minute, guys. Okay. When you're sleeping at night and you wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and you're still laying in bed, don't get out of bed. This is what you do. You go over to your astral travel, and get your gun. Okay. Get your gun. I use a machine gun because it's fully auto, and you can do a lot of damage that way. Anyway, you'll see Chris sleeping in a bed. I'm just using the name Chris because that's his name. Anyway, that's his ethereal body. Spiritually, his ethereal body. What you want to do is you take aim and you shoot him in the head. Blow his skins off. You gotta shoot all his skins, his brain, his skull, blow it all away. What you're left with is this, the second one. You'll see his head's gone, his spine sticking out. His spine will still be there because those skins are really hard to, really, really tight. And you'll see this balloon thing. Now, I've been seeing this balloon thing for a long time, but I never knew what it was. He ain't got a spirit or a soul because I released it. It's still attached. It's still attached to his body, but he's not in his body. He's a zombie, like above, walking around, driving cars and everything on the earth. He's a fucking zombie, literally. But he still responds, he still talks, and still does everything. So when you shoot the ethereal skins away, you'll see his spine sticking out. You'll see guts and blood and gore. And then you'll see this balloon thing is like a dark red, a reddish color. That's why I made it red. Anyway, that thing, I'm going to explain what happened to me today or yesterday. Yesterday, I went and I shot him. I blew his head off, all his skins, his ethereal skins. And you have to do this when he is sleeping. You're sleeping and he's sleeping in the physical. Okay. You wake up, you go over, and you shoot him in the head. He has to be sleeping because he is there in his body, or he has left his body. His spirit, his soul has left his body, but he's more focused. What you need the astral body, the ethereal body that is present when he's sleeping in his body. So that's the stuff you need to shoot to kill and breach Chris, for lack of a better word. All the Satanists in the world know this, or they don't, but the elites do. So I'm teaching you how to do it. If you can astral travel, if you can make a gun and you can shoot, you can do this. Just learn how. But if you're a Christian, you got to weigh it with Christ. So get talking to Christ. Anyway, you achieve this point. You astral travel over to his ethereal, to where he is sleeping in the physical. You take aim, you blow his head off in the spirit world, his ethereal body. Then his spine will be sticking up more or less. And this balloon thing. Yesterday, I achieved this goal and I saw the balloon thing and I asked them 30 times over the past months and year, what's the balloon looking thing? What is it? And they never answered me. And it's hard to get to. Trust me, it's hard to get to. But when you see it, this is what you got to do. This morning, I was getting ready to go over there and shoot them an hour ago. And Chris spoke spiritually. He said, Rich, don't shoot. I have company. And I go, well, I ain't shooting the whore beside you. I'm shooting you. You got all fucking freaked out. And then the girl goes, the fucking girl, spiritually, she responded. She's like, what do you mean he's shooting you? What are you talking about? And they had this big argument. So I had to go piss. So I put the gun down, got up, and went piss. So I never achieved my goal. But when I'm laying there, I'm talking to the regent priest came, and Tina came. She said, "You gotta remove this whatever it is." And I go, "What's it look like?" And they go, "They didn't know." And I said, "A balloon?" Yeah, they go, "Yeah, a balloon." And I go, "I asked you that 6 months ago. Why are you telling me now?" We don't know. Fuck. See, it drives me nuts. All this shit drives me nuts. Anyway, Tina said, you got to come in with your hands and a knife and cut this goddamn thing out of him. Find where it's attached down here along his spine. It runs along his spine. I don't know why. They say it's an illusion room. It's an illusion room. Inside the balloon is an illusion room. And I've shot this fucking thing, but I can't penetrate it with the bullets. So whatever it's made out of, it's fucking hard. They say you got to cut it off his spine. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. The next time I go, tomorrow when I go shoot him, I'll find this goddamn thing and I'll cut it off his spine. That, and what they said was, when I do damage to Chris like this, it takes energy away. It takes energy away from his ethereal body, his soul, and he's eventually going to die, basically. Physically, he's eventually going to die. This is another step I can do to speed it up. And they're all for it. I'm fucking clean, believe it or not. More or less, I'm clean. still spiritually unclean with Christ. Well, other than my abuse of other things, just stupid little sins. Anyway, they say I got to cut this red thing off him and release it. That will help kill him physically, which is what I'm trying to achieve by astral. Though there are better ways of doing it than this, but I can't do it because I condemn myself. So I can't fucking do it. Or so I've been told. Anyway, I don't think it'll hurt you. You can't penetrate it with a gun, but if you find it, astral travel over to it, grab it, and cut it out of them. When you finally release it, that will release it. But it'll come back and it'll heal again. You got to do this every night until he's dead, as much as you can. I don't even know what the fucking thing is called. It's called a Herkabulania or something. I heard it. I heard the priest call it what it was, but for me to pronounce it was virtually impossible. Anyway, that's what you got to do. That's another step. Besides opening and releasing a spirit from the foundations are right about. Let me show you where the foundations are. Releasing him. Come on. Damn. One foundation is right about here. Inside looks like a little shoebox. Right under the ribs. Another foundation is right about here. In the heart body. That was pretty much the same thing, a shoebox. You gotta release those to release the soul, the spirit. Once the spirit's released, keep shooting them, keep doing it. You gotta affect the physical. The best way to affect the physical body and breach into reality is when he's sleeping. That's the fastest and easiest way. You're gonna hurt him, but he'll have a headache or a toothache or a pain under his eye or something from a bullet, but it won't breach him. Not too likely. Then you release the seals. There are certain seals in the body. You gotta release them. I think one was in the head, right around here. There's seals. There's heart seal. Different seals. Then there's secret things that only Christ knows, and he won't tell me. So fuck. Anyway, this is a new piece of thing I gotta do. They should have told me this years ago, a year ago, but they didn't. I just learned about it. I learned about this thing a year ago. I seen it a year ago, but I asked them, what the hell is it? And before I totally wake up, I'm in the astral and I'm shooting them. And shooting this thing, the red thing. And Christ, man, you can't penetrate it. It's like, it's not a solid piece of like ethereal blubber or whatever. I don't know, ethereal skins. It's not solid. Inside this thing, it's like a balloon. Inside it is an illusion room. In the illusion, it's a separate illusion in the illusion. You understand what that means? I hope you do. Anyway, that's what I learned. That's what you got to do. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. Hopefully. I don't know. I really don't care if he's got a partner with him. I really don't care. I'm not going to do nothing to the partner laying beside him in bed. He just said that to get away with, so he could have a good time. And it fucked me up. And the regent priest came in this morning and yelled at me and told me this. You gotta separate the Herkabulanium from the fucking from his spine. You gotta cut it out. And I said, okay, well, why didn't you tell me that a year ago? And I could have been doing it for a year now, and he may be dead by this point. But nope, they decided to keep it all secret. Anyway, guys, that's the big reveal. There you go. Spiritual work is fun. You want to be a warrior, a spirit warrior, taking care of the evil on the earth and the slime that are the low life slime that drive you fucking nuts or basically insane. This is how you take them out. The only reason I'm doing it is a goddamn air conditioner. You won't turn it off. It's driving me fucking nuts. So, since I can do this spiritually, I am going to do it spiritually. And with Christ told me this. I asked him, how do I breach Chris and kill him? When can I do it? How do I do it? What are the fine lines of doing this? He said, when he has the air conditioner running, you can defend yourself. You can make him turn it off spiritually. You can do whatever the fuck you gotta do. And trust me when I say it's abuse. It screwed up my whole life. It gave me a stroke. I haven't slept in this apartment one night in about 2 years. I sleep at my mom's house during the day. The only reason I'm making this video is because he's got the air conditioner off or on low. If he had it on full, I wouldn't be making the video. I'd be watching YouTube videos or whatever all night long. Then I go to my mom's, eat lunch, fall asleep for 4 hours or 5 or 6. And that's what I've been doing for a year. I've had a stroke over the fucking air conditioner and my rage is totally fucking psychologically fucked me up. You didn't even believe it, guys. And when you get to that point where someone's torturing you, fucking, when you're at that point, when you're in the red, I've done everything physically I can, except shoot him in the head, but I ain't gonna do that because I ain't going to jail. Since I'm spiritual, I'll take him out spiritually and deal with Christ afterward. But I've been dealing with Christ and the regent priest and my kids and my wife for since this all started. There you go. My advice, if you can get away with it any other way, get the hell out. Don't do it. All this shit, don't do it. I'm just telling you, if you're in a fucking box within a box within a box and you can't get out, and the fucker's torturing you, abusing you, and you're a spiritual person, you got the fucking right. You got the God given natural law, moral obligation to fucking kill him. You're doing him a favor. I found out Chris wants to die, but he's too afraid to kill himself. So you do it, Rich. Well, I'd rather just fucking cut the cord on your air conditioner, but okay, I'll do it. It's been a year and a half. Things have calmed down, but it's not done. Every day I hear it. All night I hear it. The only reason it's not going now is it's a fucking Arctic fucking room. His apartment. He's got the windows sealed with plastic. He's got the fucking windows aluminum foiled so the sun reflects out. He's got the room sealed with plastic. All his fucking windows are covered in black plastic and aluminum foil. So he gets no fresh air other than the air conditioner. I got another story there too. Other than the air conditioner. He's got it so fucking cold in there, it's like a freezer. That's what I'm dealing with, guys. Totally fucking gone. And he's a fucking, he thinks he's a pimp. And he has an endless parade of horrors going. And the only time he shuts the air conditioner off is because the horrors are freezing to death. They're laying there in fucking bed, fucking them, and they're freezing. So he has to turn it off. And that's the only respite I get. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm going fucking crazy dealing with this shit, but I'm telling you what's going on in my life spiritually and physically, mostly spiritually. My advice, if you can get away without doing it spiritually, don't. Because there's a whole lot of shit that comes along with it. But since I got nothing else better to do and I'm being tortured by him, fucking get your gun and go fucking do what you gotta do. Later, guys.